I'm all behind. All behind. Shout to me for totally screwing the intro up because I forgot about the little mechanical arm part. It's been 2 weeks since I've been on. I forgot that part and started the countdown, and then the countdown didn't start. But anyway, you're tuned into another episode of Access Granted, the Par Stream. Your boy, Mr. Antoine, is in the building. My co-host Lisa Monet is on her way. It's some city poly stuff going on, coming up or whatever, and her kids go to one of the schools, so I think he plays for one of the teams, so practices is running a little late. Something, I don't know, but she hit me up and told me she will be here a little bit late. Man, hope everybody had as amazing a weekend as I did. My wife gonna jump on here soon, so I'm gonna put this on before she jump on. She was away this weekend, and I was in the bed like this. I was in the bed doing snooze. Yeah, I was doing whole right. I was using pillows that I don't usually use and all that kind of stuff, man. Shout out to my sister Lissa. That's who she was with this weekend, celebrating birthdays and all of that stuff, man.
Libra season.
Yeah, Libra season in effect, but you know Sagittarius season is right around the corner. So
How did I not either know and or remember that you are a Sagittarius?
huh.
How did I not? I maybe
Maybe.
maybe because I have so many of them around me that I was like,
Right.
one more, I just can't. I can't. Not one more. Not one more.
So I'm a very, very heavy Jay-Z fan, and it's because Jay-Z and I share the same birthday, the same age, and I believe we were like 3 hours apart. I think he's like,
Wow.
I think I'm like 3 hours older than Jay-Z. So
Wow.
yeah, it's like a real, you know, I'm dying to meet him personally one day, and I'm gonna just show him my driver's license and be like,
Yes, I got you about 3 hours, brother.
youngin, youngin. What's going on, Miss G?
Everything. I'm happy to be here.
Always.
Glad we put
Miss,
this on the
hold up,
books.
Miss Fairfield Projects for Life.
F and F, F and F, F and F.
Yo, I was telling somebody when I came to the office to get the signs, the yard signs.
Okay.
Yo, Miss Erica, y'all made me feel so loved.
Oh, that's what we do. Like
Y'all made me
you good
feel I
people.
felt like a celebrity, and she was like all in the middle of a session, and she stopped and she screamed, and I was like, oh, and got to see my man Calm, who I haven't seen in
Yeah.
ever, ever. Real dope. Thank y'all for that. It's good to feel. It's good to feel
Yeah.
love.
Yeah. It's all love. The one of the things that I like to say about Baltimore, especially when people talking trash about Baltimore, is like, okay, but when people from Baltimore, when they bang with you like that,
Mm,
it ain't no love like Baltimore love.
mm.
None. Yo, like we are, when you in there, you in there. And
You in
so that was just a testament to, like it's Antoine. It's
I was like,
Mr. GR.
oh, real quick, I gotta give a shout out, man, to my sister Dina. Now you're not gonna be able to see everything on this shirt, but this is a 50-year hip hop celebration T-shirt.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, this way, Access Granted Edition, because I got the logo right there, and it's just the name of like all of the dopest MCs
Yeah.
all up on this joint, man. And she,
Okay, all right. I'm about to quiz you.
oh,
I'm about to test your hip hop gangster. Okay, is Bahamadia on your shirt?
No, but that's probably because she doesn't know Bahama Diaz. So.
Okay. Is Black Thought on your shirt?
I believe the Roots is. I don't think he is.
Okay, all right.
And I'm gonna stop you there because I honestly haven't read all of the names on the shirt.
Okay, all right.
So, I know
Okay.
Tupac over here. I know we got. Yep, that's the Roots down there. Outkast, Jay-Z, LL, Biggie, Big Pun, EPMD, L Boogie, Snoop. There's quite a few.
Okay.
Quite a few.
It's legitimate.
I don't know for sure, so I'm not gonna put it out there. But she's not as. No, I'm gonna take that back because Dina is a real hip hop head, so I'm gonna take that back. But I don't think Bahama Diaz on. I would be real surprised.
Yeah, I say Bahama Diaz to a lot of people because like Bahama Diaz is
she's Philly.
She's Philly, and she's like underground neo soul hip hop. Like that's how I would describe her vibe.
Before Lauryn Hill.
Yes, absolutely. And if people know about her, then I'll be like, oh, all right, okay. Not that if you don't, then that means that you don't love hip hop. But like, if you know about Bahama Diaz, if you know about Jean Grey, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you know those women, then I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Now wink twice,
and
once,
and her afro was better than Florida Evans. Her afro was better than Florida Evans.
She was not playing with it. Yeah. So
you could tell that she has a barber that just takes the.
Yeah, he take his time with it. Snip. Like it was what do they call it? A coiffeur. I think that's how they pronounce it. But yeah, she definitely did a thing.
And she was a beast. And she's a beast. I'm not gonna say was because you know, I'm quite sure that if she's
once a beast, always a beast. Like you don't lose that skill.
Like I had a gospel hip hop artist on the show. Gosh, that was either earlier this year or last year. And I told her she reminded me of Heather B. And because she was so young, she had no idea who Heather B was. I told her to look her up.
Yeah.
She hit me up the next day like, yo. She hit me up like, yo.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I miss those days. No disrespect to any of the women that are doing their thing on the hip hop scene today. But it was a little bit different.
Yeah, the 90s hit different. It hit different. And because we had the full range, you know, so it wasn't that we were, you know, one particular style of hip hop didn't have us in a headlock. Like you could get you literally could get whatever content you wanted. And that was the beautiful thing about
I saw I think it's on the Tribe Called Quest documentary that Michael Rappaport hosted, one he produced and everything, and they were talking about the native tongues. And if you from back then, you know they were absolutely. And Monie Love hit on that point that you just mentioned. She said, "We don't have to give you F the police. There's a group for that.
Right.
We don't have to give you Ola, a roll. There's a group for that. But when you want what we giving you,
right?
Oh, we gonna give it to you.
Yeah. We're gonna be in our lane. We're gonna ride our lane till the wheels fall off, and we're gonna do it well.
And I've gotten to see her perform twice this year, and she still kills her verse on Ladies First.
Does she?
Kills her joint on Ladies First.
Yeah, one of our AmeriCorps went to.
I'm gonna marry her one day.
Okay. Okay. Because I'm like, well, that's already a thing. But okay.
Random.
One of our AmeriCorps went to the LL show last night in DC, and she was like, man, you know, Latifah came out, Monie Love came out, and there is something. And even listening to her talk about it, it gave me chills because like that was our music growing up. You know what I mean? Like that genre came into fruition and it blossomed the same time that we were blossoming.
Right.
and we grew up with it, and it grew up with us. And yeah, hip hop
Now,
is amazing.
I'm glad that you mentioned Latifah. And no, this isn't a hip hop show. We just on
No,
our
right, right.
we just on our vibe. For
We
the
just
people that are tuning in, we just. But
love.
I'm glad that you mentioned Queen Latifah because I don't think she gets the credit.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think she gets the credit that she deserves. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
What her and Shakim did with Flavor Unit as a management, and I didn't I knew it, but I didn't pay attention to it until I watched the Rock the Bells 50th anniversary joint that they did from New York.
Okay.
And she brought out John A. She brought out Naughty by Nature.
Yeah.
And then she brought out Big Boy from Outkast. And I was like, yo, I didn't know that Flavor Unit managed. And Big Boy came out there with Sleepy Brown. And no disrespect to nobody else that came out there, but Big Boy and Sleepy killed that joint for 12 minutes.
Okay.
I was like, and it made me think back because then you gotta look at the movies.
Yeah.
Like Flavor Unit management, production, whatever it is that they're called, are behind so many movies. You know what I'm saying? And just the artists that yeah. I don't think she gets maybe because she quit, hip hop kind of early and started blossoming off into other things.
Yeah.
And she's definitely one of those. Like I know a lot of people like LL Cool J and Method Man, and people like that get credit for going from hip hop to acting, but and Will Smith, of course, for obvious reasons. But Queen Latifah is right up there.
Yeah.
For what she's done in Hollywood, man.
Yeah. Sing, rap, act, and her talent stands on its own. And her as a businesswoman. You know what? You're right. I listening to you talk about it, I agree. Like people don't, and I think that because it is so easy to compartmentalize her talent, and so a lot of people's introduction to Queen Latifah was her on TV.
Right.
And so they
didn't know about the hip hop.
They know nothing about that.
And that's what I was watching, not to cut you, I'm sorry, but I was watching Method Man on Drink Champs recently. And he said the same thing about LL Cool J. He said a lot of this generation only knows him from the stuff that he's done in Hollywood. They forgot about the fact that he will cut a ninja's head off on that microphone when you get it twisted. So yeah, man, salute, bro. I've had an amazing time just watching a lot of the celebration of the 50th anniversary of hip hop stuff that they've been doing. And I'm also real mad at myself that I haven't gone out to the Force tour because I heard it's nothing short of amazing. I've seen it online, the Force tour, LL Cool J.
Oh yes, yeah. Listen, that's where she was in DC last night, and she told me about it, and I was like, okay, I have very little. Like I'm day party on the weekend age. Like if I'm gonna go somewhere on a Sunday, I need it to be a day party so that I can get home, get some rest.
Like me, you want to be chilling by 6 o'clock.
Yes. Or I'm either taking off a half day Monday morning and going in at noon, or I'm taking off altogether.
We taking off all together over here.
Yeah. And she said the show started promptly at 8:10. She said it ended promptly at 11. I'm not a fan of driving and parking in DC.
Right, exactly.
And when it came to Baltimore, I kept saying, like, yo, you need to get yourself some tickets. You need to get yourself some tickets. You need to get tickets. And I waited until the last minute. And I was getting ready to go. And something was just like, stay in the house. And I don't know what that was about, but I'm with you. Like, I regret not seeing it. And depending on how long they tour, like if they are, I don't know if they're touring into 2024, but if they are, I actually would be willing to travel to go see the show.
Absolutely. Let me know. I'm riding shotgun.
Yeah. Because
have you seen any of the footage from the show?
I have. I've seen. So when he was here, my friends on social media posted it, and I was like, yo, just the energy of it, because again, that's the genre that grew up with us. Like we have so many memories attached to that music. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
I love, and this is nothing but Questlove, who is another person that I don't think gets the credit he deserves. But he curated that show.
Did he?
Yeah, he curated the show, and I love the setup because the Roots Band and Black Thought are there, for the entire time.
Yeah.
Black Thought is actually the hype man for every performer, performer that comes out there. And I love the way that they go into different cities and they go into different regions and they have the artists from there.
Right.
Yeah. So, if you out on the West Coast, you could very well see Ice Cube or,
Right.
I know Common was on there for a minute. I know Bun B was on there for, so I really love, I'm sure that LL had something to do behind the creative part of it, but I know for a fact that not Black Thought, Questlove is the mastermind behind putting it.
And he's an amazing creative as well. Not even just music, just like I feel like there is a level of creative genius when you pay attention to the way that he moves and the way that he navigates that world. Like his creative genius is evident.
I don't know if Questlove smokes weed, but if Questlove was a weed smoker, his weed would be a different quality and a different strain
to everybody
and a lot of people. Because that dude's mind is just Because
that's a level of creativity that I feel, and it's there's some freedom associated with that. So people who didn't have to experience like a whole lot of turbulence in their youth, and people who weren't forced to walk the regular path. So, you go to school, you graduate, you go to college, you get a job, you get married, you have children. Like people who don't have to walk that path, and people who have the freedom to actually like sit with themselves and with their mind and think of ideas and then manifest the ideas that they think of. Like that, I feel like he is like a poster child for that. And so just watching him do the different things that he does is fascinating.
Are you a fan of Method Man?
So I'm a fan of everything 80s, early 90s hip hop. There's not a whole lot that somebody can say to me and I'm like, I don't like what that's too tough.
Okay. How about as an actor?
No. And I understand what he's doing. Okay, so we were talking a little bit about astrology. Method Man is a Pisces. And so Pisces they are creative and tend to be musically inclined. And so Erykah Badu is like the quintessential Pisces, like when you think about like that kind of thing. And so I have a limited view of him. And so my view of him is Method Man through Wu-Tang, Method Man, Bring the Pain, like who he is in that video. That is imprinted in my mind about who Method Man is. And so when I see him being anything other than that, I'm like, oh, he's acting. Oh, he's acting. And it's really evident to me that he's acting. Whereas though even LL Cool J and Queen Latifah, like, even though they are so strong in their craft, they embody characters in a way that I don't like. I'm not looking at them like, oh, they're acting. When I see Method Man doing anything, I'm like, oh, he's acting.
I get that. Seeing him play the lawyer in Power.
Yes. Because it was way more funny than what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
It was not supposed to be. His facial expressions and
And I'm
looking at him, I'm like, yo, you're not no high power attorney busting move. Boy, bye.
But the other things that I've seen him in, like I thought he killed Belly, and to
Method Man
me,
was in Belly.
yeah, Method Man was in Belly. Method Man got his head busted by a track with an ashtray by Keisha and Belly when they went to break in the house at the end.
He
Yeah,
was, but okay, but
yeah.
that is aligned with
With
like
his right,
yeah,
right,
you know what
right,
I'm
right,
saying? Like
right,
he
right.
didn't go too far out of and not to typecast him, but he didn't go too far out of who he was to play
Right,
that role.
right.
Yeah, yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
Mm, I don't know a whole lot. Like so, Nas and Belly,
Oh,
um,
ugh, that hurt.
DMX and Belly. I mean, DMX was better than everybody else to me, but
Yeah.
like the storyline was amazing. But
As I bring the stalker in the background up, I'm a talk a little bit about that because I love me some
Hi.
Nas.
Hi.
Lisa Monet in the building, y'all.
Hey, everybody. Pardon my tardy.
Except for Uchiwali, Nas is my guy. Okay,
what's
You
wrong
I,
with
I didn't like.
Uchi?
I didn't like.
Okay,
You
so
know,
Uchi Wally was for the girls. Like
no.
it was
This
it
is
was
what did it on Uchiwali when
okay.
Takeover came out and Jay-Z was like, "And your bodyguard's Uchiwali verse was better than yours." I was like, "Ooh," and then I went back and listened to Horse's verse, and I was like, "Ooh," yeah, you're right." But this is what killed it for me with Nas and Belly.
But
That scene with him and DMX driving in the car late at night, and he was like, "How much you think we can get for that shit?" And you could tell that he was trying to play high. You could, it was a, and I'm gonna go ahead and say this and get all of the slack from y'all black folks that I'm ready for the smoke. Belly is considered a cult classic as
It
far as
is.
black people, but it's one
yes.
of the most poorly acted movies that I've ever seen in my life.
I won't disagree with that
And I'm
though.
like,
No.
I won't disagree with that. Like and I did not have an expectation that it was going to be on like a
right,
Robert De Niro
right,
level.
right. Got you.
And
Got you.
so because like
Got
it's a hood movie, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it was better than Master P and them. Like
Woo!
it was better than
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Well,
Because
that's
they
because Master P filmed his movie with a flip phone. And so there was,
Under
there was
no
no
limits
visual
production.
quality to
the cinematography in Belly was everything.
yeah,
It was.
The acting was subpar.
like what?
The acting was subpar, but they made up for it. The vibe of the movie was everything.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, because I'll sit and watch Belly
Yes.
Yes.
on any
Yeah.
given day, but the acting is
Well,
It's
let me
and
let
I'm
me
still
defend some of Belly. Okay, I want to say that there were shining stars in that movie, even though there were people like if you weren't an actor, it actually showed in that movie.
Mhm.
If you were already, for instance, Keisha,
Yeah.
I'm gonna marry her one day too. I'm gonna marry Keisha.
gorgeous girl, excellent.
Yeah.
Even I liked Method Man in that. Even the guy, I forget
that.
his name, the one that the hater with the
That had
rose
the flip,
glasses.
what is his
Yeah.
name? He played in Minister
The
Society.
illest nigga in Nebraska.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
He even did a great job.
Yeah.
He did.
But DMX was by far, he did that. That was his thing. He
Yeah.
definitely,
Oh, yeah,
even
smoking
down
weed.
to I'm saying, listen, he had me at Keisha. That was my part. That was it. That's all I had to say. Like, okay.
And yes,
Nas really does not have Nas does not have an actor's personality. Like he way too laid back. He's way too nonchalant. Like, and that doesn't translate well into film.
Yeah.
Like it just don't. Whereas though DMX is, you
Yeah.
know, and his energy. So Nas's energy matches his music.
Yeah. Yes.
DMX's energy matches his music, and it can translate well to
DMX
movies.
said, "That's
Yeah.
your word." Nigga, suck my dick. I was like, oh. And yes, putting definitely one of the greatest opening scenes of the movie.
Yes.
Hands
Oh my
down.
gosh. Yes.
Yeah.
If you ain't like that song before that movie, you had to like it afterwards.
You had
Yeah.
to. You
Yeah.
had to.
You had to.
And I felt so bad because they did my man, the one that was supposed to go ditch the car, and then he was hating later on, so they made him get butt naked in the basement.
Oh.
You gonna get yours, B. look, you gonna get yours, B. meanwhile, you butt naked on the couch.
You know.
Oh man, that's funny.
And this is the last thing, and then we can move on from Belly because I could talk about this movie all night. But AZ did an interview some years ago, and they asked him did he set Nas up in that movie, because it definitely looked like he set Nas up, because he saw the dude coming across the street when he was standing outside with his baby outside the barbershop, and he saw them coming, and he was like, yeah, B, I'm a roll. And then as soon as he rolled, dude pull up and he tried to shoot Nas, and he was like, nah, but he said people in the hood really hated on him because it felt like they set him up in that movie.
Oh wow,
that's wow.
And he had to tell people, hello, it's acting.
It's acting.
It's a movie.
Listen, you can act a role so good that if I see you today, you still that person.
Oh
yeah. Who is it on the stories? Is it Victor?
Yes, Victor is still Victor.
Yeah.
He is Victor.
Okay, so
no, that's
it.
Maybe Old Spice. He can
speaking
do
of that, so speaking of Victor, is that Victor that Jada Pinkett swung on in what's the movie she was in with Keenan Ivory Wayans when she was his secretary, Low Down Dirty Shame, and she was in Hollywood, and she saw the guy from the soap opera, and she punched him in the face, bam, and that's what you get for cheating on? That might have been Victor.
Was it Victor?
It might have been. I don't know.
I haven't seen Low Down that so long, but she did swing on something. It could have been him. It could. He been on there forever.
He been on there forever, and he is the when people don't, you say Eric Newman and nobody knows who you're talking about. But if you say Victor, they be like, oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, Victor.
Is that the Young and the Restless?
Yes.
Okay, so he was 114 when I was in school.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So he has to be like 160.
He's a vampire.
Something now.
He's a vampire.
And he's still alive?
I'm about to check. Is he still living?
I think he's still living. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
It'd be funny if you put in Victor.
Right.
It's gonna come out. It's good. He's still, I believe he's still alive. I think I seen him like a month ago, 2 months ago, something.
You saw him down Lexington Market?
That is not that man's name.
His name?
Hold on. Oh, is it spelled? Hold on. Is it spelled differently?
With a K?
I think it.
We done got real serious with this.
Yeah, we did. We concerned now.
Let me type in Victor from the stories.
We're concerned. Hold on.
Man said he's 82 years old.
Ain't nobody told me nothing. Hold on.
My pastor said Victor has had.
Eric Braden. I don't know where I got Newman from. Eric Braden.
My pastor said he's had every woman on the show since the very first season.
Yes,
and he has. He has. He
is still alive.
He's alive. I think. Yeah,
he is alive.
And he probably looks the same as he did way back in.
He does. He just had the grading came in a lot more now, and yeah. Because I remember
Eric Newman because it's Victor Newman. That's why I thought his name. Okay.
Yes. So we done went from hip hop to soap opera.
No, but seriously, it's like people that play these roles in your mind. If you see them, they're always gonna be that person. If you play your role right.
What's the guy? There was one guy. Was it How Did I Get Married? It was one movie that it's a guy. I think.
Why Did I Get Married? Is that
Why Did I Get Married? The one where the wife put him in the tub and he was I can't remember exactly.
Shoot, what is it?
Something Harris. He's related. I think he's Wood Harris's brother.
Yeah.
Like people see him now.
Yeah.
We still don't like him.
Yeah, I was a character. Like that's not who I. But he played that part so well.
Yes, everybody's still mad. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Idris Elba will always be Stringer Bell to me.
Yeah.
Wood Harris will always be Avon, and Weebay, what's his name? Hassan Johnson will always be.
Yeah.
And I talk to Trey Chaney on the regular. He's always poop. I don't care what other character he played in any other movie. He's always poop. So yeah, we definitely Diary of a Mad Black Woman. That was the name of the movie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Put. Thank you, Put.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely those characters. So anyway, that was the pre-show, y'all. That was the pre-show. That was sound check.
That was sound check.
30-minute sound check. So, Miss G,
Yes, sir.
the day that I pulled up on you to pick up the signs, you told me that you wanted to come back on the show because there's been a lot that has happened and a lot going on since the last time you were here, which seems like it was just 3 or 4 months ago, honestly.
No, it feels like
I mean, it's been really. It doesn't seem like it's been that long to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to tap in and see what's going. And I had a chance to go on the website today, and I saw the video for the first time of the new reveal of the Baltimore Peace Movement.
What video?
Lord have mercy.
Lord,
and that's why I have it queued up, ladies and gentlemen, because I knew that Ellen G wasn't going to know what in the world I was talking about.
I just do the work.
I'm saying. Let's see.
I had it queued up all this time just for you, Miss G. Here we go.
Thank you so much.
Are you telling me you haven't seen this for real?
Come on.
Oh yeah, I've seen this.
Okay.
We are absolutely calling on everyone in the city. We are not an exclusive movement. So this is a self-determination movement. People recognize that we are out here doing the work, and however you feel that you need to be involved, or whatever your capacity is to be involved in the movement, we invite you to join us in this movement. And even if you are not a part of our movement, everyone in this city can do something.
I was like, my girl is so articulate on this video.
Going on that is good in this city. People aren't violent all over the place in this city. Right. Our city is mostly a peaceful city. When you walk down the street, you don't run into people that are running up on you trying to hurt you.
I'm in line with the stars, I'm in sync with the earth. 10 toes deep, flower child from the turf. I never switch sides, like even when I die, I'm a ride for the squad, lot of ties in the hearse. I've been on a vibe, kinda hard to describe. I'm in between, I'm good and it's fine, but I'm tired of the grind. Then I come alive in the night to realize I'm in the middle of the time of my life. I'm never so packed for the stack, never lied on the rap, got a bag from the way that I write it. Queen looking Tyson, do that as survive, doing 80 to the house, then I hit him to the sky, change haters on a tirade, talking to the grip in the face, be still, let that hate stuff fade. We all want the same, we all want a meal in the safe, I wanna live like I'm trying to enlighten. Drill spill from my lips, feel big from the bit, take a sip till I pass out. I'm trying to get grip, but it don't make sense, cause you can lose life on this fast route. Yeah, turn thoughts to a cash cow, I might flip that to the glass house. I don't need the accolades, I'm in love with the chase. I just wanna eat, save a spot at the table. Beats with the slap, hit myself on the map. You long with the wind, but we knowing that it's cap. 5-hour flights, couple nights at the flat. To be real, couldn't see me making moves while I'm at. I'm still on the grind, limit time when I chat. I'm burning down sage, keep the demons away. When I write it, give a piece of myself to the page. I don't do it for the praise, love, that's just how.
Baltimore City is a peaceful place. And we are being portrayed as this negative entity, and we want to focus more on what we want to see in Baltimore. The Baltimore Ceasefire name and logo has served us wonderfully for the last 5 years, and we are moving more into a direction of focusing and manifesting on things that we want to see in Baltimore City.
Shout out to my guy Ogun. Ogun is just a vibe. I like that dude.
Yeah.
I got to give some flowers, man. The whole team, y'all are just a whole vibe, man.
Thank you.
The ones that I know, and I know quite a few of you. Jakia, Erica, of course. You know, you guys, my man Darnell, who's
you know everybody.
I don't think I know. I know of her. I've seen her before. I don't, you know, I don't have the connection like we have, but yeah, y'all just, man, y'all a whole vibe, man. I love y'all.
That's the plan. That's the plan. So it's wild how watching just all of the amazing things that happen in our community. Seeing it captured that way. So like Safiatu's water gun battle in the park, the rally on Edmondson Avenue, just different things. So for people who don't know, the seed for the movement got planted in 2015. That seed did what it needed to do and manifested and started to take root in 2017. And very early on in the movement, I would say to people, like when we would have our internal meetings and when I would host public meetings, I would say to people, like, I don't mind critique because, you know, there are things that I've heard people say that I'm like, oh, I never even thought about that. Now, the way that people say it, you know, people say stuff real wild, but like thinking about just the message that people have in their critique. Critique can create opportunities. And so people used to say to us, because one of the things that we would ask for people to do would be to change their profile picture to the ceasefire logo so that just all across social media, you saw this imagery, like this, and people, when they see the logo, one, they know what it means, and two, they know that there's a weekend coming up. And people would say to us, you know, I would love to make that my profile picture, but y'all got a gun on your logo. And we're like, right. It has an X on it. And they're like, right, but it's still a gun. So the R in ceasefire was a gun pointed downward. And so people would be like, I can't, in my good conscience, support that. I love what y'all doing. I support what y'all doing. Like any other way that I can help, I promise you I will. And
you know, I never thought about that.
Like it stayed with me. And so people who know us intimately know that this movement has been a spiritual thing for us. So the energy of murder, the toxicity that takes hold of people and makes somebody want to take somebody's life. Like that level of toxicity is not something that people just are like, oh, okay. Like we were coming up against an energy that is the most toxic energy on the planet. And we knew it. We joke a lot and say, if we knew what the ceasefire was going to become before it actually did, we'd have been like, no, thank you. We're not doing that. And we would have walked out of the room. But it was a blessing that we didn't know. So we walked blindly into this thing and we were like, okay, you know, we want people to stop killing one another. We want people to celebrate life. Like that is the essence of what that movement was about. Nobody kill anybody, celebrate life. 3 days, a weekend, Friday at 12 o'clock to Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Be as peaceful as you can. Think about the ways that you manage and mismanage conflict. Because we don't think about that. Like if I get into a beef with somebody, I'm okay with arguing with them. I'm okay with fighting. For some people, they okay with, you know, pulling out a gun, a knife, a bat, whatever. And asking people to pause on that. Okay. And if you can pause on it for 3 days, maybe you can do something different. Like if you really that hot and we're asking you to sit down for 3 days, if you could sit down for 3 days, then you can think differently about the way that you want to navigate that the next time it's in your face. And we would see evidence of our creator in our work. So we use healing technologies. When we go into the community, we will burn sage, we would burn frankincense, we would burn all kinds of herbs, we would bring music, and we would bring joy into spaces where people lost their physical body. There have been countless numbers of times. So one time specifically, I unknowingly stepped into the spot where somebody's body dropped and the sage caught on fire. That's how I knew I was in the right spot.
Wow.
And so when people say, when people were saying to us, that's dumb, it's not going to work, like, I'm like, y'all don't see this. And so I understand why you think the way that you do. Y'all not seeing it from our vantage point. All of the miracles, people telling us stories, people welcoming us into their neighborhoods, into their communities, because they know that we were coming to do something good. We used to, what I'm talking about, the thing is called a sacred space ritual. And so I remember one of our ambassadors, Bridget, and we planned a whole Saturday from like 11 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the afternoon to just go to different spots in West Baltimore. And a journalist was like, can I follow y'all and film y'all? And we're like, yeah, that's fine, because we're going to do what we do regardless of who's here or who's not. And this gentleman walked past and he was like, what are y'all doing? And we were like, we're blessing the neighborhood, you know, using this smoke and healing technology to disperse the toxic energy. And he saw the cameraman and he was like, I don't want nobody taking no pictures of me. And we were like, that's fine. Like, nobody will take pictures of you without your permission.
Mm-hmm.
And then he walked past and he smelled the smoke and he was like, wait. He said, y'all out here blessed. He said, I need a blessing. Can I have some of the smoke? And so I take the smoke and I would bless people with the smoke and I would pray over them and I would tell them to pray over themselves.
Right.
Because your prayer for you is not more powerful than my prayer for you. And so I would tell people to pray over themselves. And the man looked at the cameraman and he was like, no, take this picture. I need this picture captured. And so there's a picture of me in West Baltimore blowing smoke on, and the look on this man's face was just like peaceful, and he was grateful. And so like those are the things that we can't, like, it's hard to tell those stories on social media in a way that they're digestible for people. And so people are like, okay, you know, y'all the ladies with the big blunts, like that's what they would call us because that's what sage looks like. And we're like, that's fine. Like, however
however you interpret it, right?
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not mad because when they see us coming, they know what it means.
Right.
And in our spiritual awakening, in our spiritual evolution, and our spiritual growth, we realize that while murder is a problem, murder isn't the thing that we necessarily need to be focused on.
True.
So one life lost in Baltimore is one too many. And 99% of the people who wake up on January 1st go to sleep on December 31st. Like, when you think about all of the people, and I'm not talking about people who die from natural causes, I'm talking about the people who are just in Baltimore City, just going about their day. 99% of the people who wake up on January 1st go to sleep December 31st. So what does that actually mean for our city? It means that our city is more peaceful than they have been telling us for decades.
Mm-hmm.
When you go about your day in Baltimore City, in general, nothing is happening to us. Now, there are things that happen to people, but in general, the majority of the people in Baltimore City experience way more peace than they experience violence.
This is true.
And so, you know, we had a conversation about it. We went on a retreat. We discussed it at the retreat, and the idea of, so like from a metaphysical perspective, what you focus on is the thing that you see more of. It's the thing that you manifest more of. And so we were like, of course, murder is going to be this extreme energy in our city, because that's all like. I have people who live in different states, friends that live in Memphis, friends that live in Georgia, friends that live in Florida, friends that live in California, that are scared to come here. And I'm like, you don't
oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes.
Baltimore is not the Wire and the Inner Harbor. Like, that's not who we are.
You know, we're the only city in the country that has murders, right? You know that,
right? Like, it's only happening here. Right. And so we spent the last maybe 25 years hyper fixated on murders,
right?
And it got worse.
Mm-hmm.
So what would happen if we not taking your eye off the thing, because you definitely, want to acknowledge when people lose their lives, but what would happen if we really hyperfixated on peace?
Mm.
Because if we can increase the energy of murder by fixating on it, what can we do with peace?
That's
And
true.
really changing the narrative. This idea that Baltimore is a war zone, this idea that you can't go outside without getting shot. Meanwhile, thousands of people go outside every day without getting shot. Is that a reality for us? Yes. And that reality doesn't manifest for most of the people who live here.
Yeah.
And so balancing both of those things out at the exact same time.
Mm-hmm.
And still asking people, celebrate life, affirm life,
Mm-hmm.
learn healthy ways to manage your conflict.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Figure out what your triggers are.
Mm-hmm.
Go to whatever source you need to go to. If that's a YouTube video, if it's therapy, if it's yoga, if it's your homeboy, like have multiple sources
Mm-hmm.
that you pour into and that pour back into you, so that somebody cutting you off in traffic is not a thing that ends somebody's life.
True.
I did an interview on YPR the other day, and the woman asked what, I can't remember exactly the way that she asked the question, but she was like, if we could get people to understand one thing, what's one thing that I would want people to understand? And my response to her was, I want us to understand how we got here. For us to understand that there is nothing wrong with us, that things have happened to us so that we can be here.
Mm-hmm.
If I have, while I was in my grandmother, not when I was in my mother, when I was in my grandmother. So when my grandmother was pregnant with my mother and my grandmother was 6 months pregnant with my mother, I lived inside of my mother.
Yes, you did.
Inside of my grandmother. And so when my grandmother was experiencing the things and the messaging, and we know that everything that a mother experiences, her baby experiences. Mm-hmm. That stuff doesn't lead us. It gets imprinted in our DNA. And so if when I was inside of my grandmother, I was getting messages that there's something wrong with this, how can I see value in people who look like me? How? I can't find the value in myself. So of course I'm not going to see value in people who look like me. Violence is the language of power in America. That's how they got here. That's how we got here. That's why the indigenous people don't exist the way that they're supposed to. And so if the overt and subconscious messaging is that violence is power, and we as a people have been robbed of our dignity, if we have been robbed of our self-worth, and we don't even know that we've been robbed of it, we just know that something feels wrong. But in this country, they tell you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and if you ain't got it, it's because you're not working hard enough. All of those messages will help me to feel defeated. And then on top of that, I don't see value in me, so I don't see value in you. So harming you is not like, that's an easy decision for me to make.
Right.
And then the programming, music, television, video games. I found out that when kids are playing video games, especially video games where they're shooting guns, their brains don't register that that's not happening in real life. So on this surface level, you know that you're just playing a game, but your brain experiences that as if it's happening in real time. And so at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like you're used to doing. Shooting a gun was not something that our generation, like that wasn't something that, it was unheard of for us. And these newer generations, shooting a gun is like going to the store and buying soda for them. And so I look at things from like that bird's eye view. And I love my city, and I know, like, if I could snap my fingers and make us understand that this is by design, people in power don't have to work as hard to destroy us because they've taught us to destroy ourselves. And that's not, the spooky boogeyman, white man. Like, it's not that, like, that is a reality. That we have been trained to destroy ourselves. And so if we are destroying ourselves, that they can be off doing whatever it is that they want to be doing, and continue to do things. And it is hard for me to look at a place like Baltimore and see so many beautiful Black people, and it hurts because, like, we just don't understand. We think it's something wrong with us, and it just breaks my heart. And I'm like, I wish I could just pour this into people's minds and get them to understand when behavior is out of control, because behavior is a language in and of itself. If I don't have the words to express and describe what's going on inside of me, my behavior will.
True.
So this is why I love the fact that with the now Baltimore peace movement, that you guys choose not to focus on the murder and the violence. I remember the very first Baltimore ceasefire weekend back in 2015, I believe.
August 2017.
2017. I was that Saturday afternoon. I was downtown, and I was going to Artist Exchange, the Artist Exchange radio. Shout out to my man Nate Cowles. I was going to his show because we were getting ready to do the youth retreat for the Bro Code, and we were trying to, raise money and everything. So he had us on the show, and I remember us sitting there. Their studio at the time was right across the street from the side of the courthouse, whatever that building is, across from where they take the prisoners in. Their building was right there, and we were like literally checking phones, like there hadn't been a murder, and so on and so forth. And when unfortunately a murder did finally happen that weekend,
Lamontre Tynes.
It wasn't the fact that the Baltimore ceasefire didn't work because somebody got killed. It was, look how many hours that we went from when the Baltimore ceasefire started until that murder unfortunately happened.
Right.
And that's the thing that I love about the way that you guys approach, what it is that you're doing. We have a former police commissioner. We have a former police commissioner that's on one of our sports talk radio shows. And one morning I was listening to the show, and they talked about Baltimore ceasefire, and he said that it was the dumbest thing.
He went in on us.
All the way in. He went
in. Yes.
I called the radio show and couldn't get through that morning. I probably would have got hung up on because my message was going to be uncensored. Because in the time that you served in office, bro, you didn't do a damn thing to help the city at all.
How did he say it was dumb?
Well, so
The whole. Go ahead, Alvin.
this idea that people are going to put their guns down because we asked them to sounds absurd. Like when you think about it, like people gonna stop shooting just because y'all asked them to, and we were like, yes, yeah. The November 2017 ceasefire weekend, that whole Friday, nobody got killed. Tony Mason was sitting in his car in West Baltimore, and somebody walked up on the car and shot the car up. He was in the car with a female friend.
Yep, I remember that.
After they announced that he got killed during the ceasefire weekend, the last 48 hours of the ceasefire weekend, everybody in Baltimore put their guns down. Everybody in Baltimore City put their guns down. And so when people were saying that's dumb, what you think they want to listen to? We were like, yeah, we do. Because we know our city, like we are not isolating corner board. Like we love everybody. And here's one of the most provocative things about our stance in this movement. We don't even isolate people who pull triggers. And the reason that we don't is because that person wasn't born that way.
Right.
That person probably has been either victim, like so much stuff has happened to that person because it is not our natural inclination to kill one another. True. And so whatever it is that person went through that put them in that position that they felt like that was a good choice for them to make, we're sending them love and energy too, because we want you to make different choices. We want you to make more humane choices. You can't get that life back, but you can make different choices from now on.
True.
And people hear us say that and they're like, oh, y'all, we too pie in the sky. We're too this. And I'm like, well, maybe you're not humane enough.
Miss Key, let me tell you, Ellen probably remembers the names of the majority of the victims. That's because of just the whole. But see that, you know how I get when we have these kind of conversations, because it's always, to me, it's always the people doing this.
Mm-hmm.
That don't get out there and do nothing. Those are the ones that tick me off the most.
Yeah, it's real interesting to know, Antoine. We have a rule as a movement. One, that we don't argue with people online. Two, we don't argue with people in person. Three, we don't go back and forth with people about their critiques of the movement for a few reasons. One, I understand that level of hopelessness. Like, I get it. For you to feel like this problem is too big for anybody to be able to do anything about it, I understand that, because 5 years before the movement started, I was that person. So like that, I get. I also get people who allow their hopelessness to turn into fear. Mm-hmm. I understand people who allow their hopelessness to turn into anger. Like, I get it. And so because like we are like, okay, like I used to be the person that used to say, well, if y'all just pull y'all pants up, y'all wouldn't have to worry about the police bothering with you. I was that girl, you know what I'm saying? And so because I understand how long it took for me to get to this place in my journey, I understand it. So you are where I was 5 years ago when I was right in that same spot. I have been blessed and fortunate enough to have been able to evolve to the place where I am today. Everybody don't get there.
Right.
And I feel bad that everybody don't get there. And this thing about doing my best to not judge people where they are on their journey is hard. Mm-hmm. And I still have compassion because I remember when I was that person. Mm-hmm. And so I always like I see it and I'm like, like I know what I'm looking at. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, all right, okay. Definitely can't read the comments on any news article. because it's a protection of my own peace.
True.
And it's not necessary because I know the critiques that are out there. I know people who feel like, Baltimore is always going to be this way. And I'm the person that's like, except it doesn't have to be.
Right.
And if you can't do anything about it right now, I understand it. I respect it because I remember when I was a person who wasn't doing anything. So
what was the change for you, Ellen?
It was social media.
Okay.
It's social media. So Black Planet.
Not Black Planet.
Black Planet opened my eyes and exposed me to so many different people and different cultures. From Black Planet, I moved to Yahoo 360. Yahoo 360 was actually the most amazing platform. A lot of people don't know about it, but if you were there, like I met people who inspired me to just grow. Like if it wasn't for social media, I would not be who I am today. I wouldn't, because it also opened my eyes to different perspectives, people who lived in a level of transparency that I was scared to live in the moment. Like I watched people put their hearts out on the internet and they demonstrated a depth and a level of beauty that I didn't see in my immediate environment. And that made me hungry for more. And so the thing I talk about, how I talked about the murder rate, like when you hyperfixate on that, you see more of it. I hyperfixated on people who had beautiful spirits, people who grew, people who were hell-bent on changing and becoming better versions of themselves. And so I just saw more and more and more of that. And I was like, I want that for me. And it took me a long time to get here. 20 years. 2004.
Okay.
2004. Yep, it took me 20 years to get here. And it's been a hell of a ride. And I wouldn't change anything about it.
Well, at least you got there.
Yes. So. Yeah.
And I think we're all still a work in progress.
Everybody.
We're all still a work in progress. Shout out to my brother, my man, my guy, Mishan. He says there are so many grass movements and initiatives that are trying to save the Black community. The thing is, we have to find the bridge that will connect them all together. We were not born to live in hatred and violence, and we will overcome. We just have to have faith and stand up.
Yeah.
And as simple as that sounds, it's really just that simple.
It is.
I mean, there's work, of course, that has to go along with it, but it's really just that simple because it's just about changing the mindset.
Yeah,
right. It's definitely.
Hey, how could you forget about Black Planet?
Baby, Black Planet got me a trip to New York for the very first time in my life, and like.
Who was you going to
I met this guy who was a rapper.
He was a rapper?
He was a rapper. He lived in, he was an underground local rapper, but he was a rapper. He lived in New York, and somebody in his family lived in Virginia, and he had kids in Virginia, and he was going to visit his kids, and he was like, Baltimore not that far from Virginia, is it? And I was like, it's not. I saying it out loud now, like he could have been a serial killer, or he could have been anything. But my ancestors be like, we got our baby. She don't always make good decisions, so we're gonna make sure that we got her covered.
Our ancestors must have been friends because they be saying the same thing about me.
This poor baby don't know no better. Let's make sure that we keep her covered.
The same thing.
And we went to Brooklyn, and I had an amazing time, and we drove back down. And what's interesting is that I found him on Facebook, and we have reconnected on Facebook. So, he's married with kids. And
I was getting ready to say, can we get a connection?
But just like because it really was just like it was an internet fling, but it was a good experience for both of us. So Yeah, I love the internet.
I
People
was
be
like,
like,
yo, she's still smiling, and she got a little glow when she telling that
Look
story.
yeah,
at
like
it.
I
Little,
love
little
the internet.
halo. Hey,
I love it.
uh-huh.
Yeah, people be like, I hate the internet. It's such trash. I be like, well, whatever this view I have of the
Yeah.
internet, my shit be fun. I be like, yeah,
Be
I be having a good time. Yeah.
The only thing that I don't like about it is that it's given people a boldness that I know that they wouldn't have face to face with me.
That is true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
though we all have opinions, some of these opinions, man, just be y'all just need to keep them to yourself. But
You
it
know
gives
what?
them, I imagine sometime a person that's like in their mother's basement, with the lights down low, and they just in the corner, and they just the baddest cat in the world sitting up here talking all this trash to you.
I have Jedi mind tricked myself into believing that those people are bots. Like, I don't even believe that they real people. I don't. Because, like, I know that people can have some real wild perspectives about things.
Mm-hmm.
And I also know that on the internet, so like it was a scandal with the last election, and Donald was saying, or somebody was saying that there was some and because I know that technology can be used against us, in my mind, I just go to the extreme and be like, this person not real. Yeah. This person not real.
So
and I have a conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory that they can access our social media and write comments on our behalf on other people's posts that we can't see.
Yeah.
And you don't even know that you over here beefing with some. And I know that sounds very, very, very far-fetched. And at the same time, it is in their best interest that we always beefing with one another.
Oh, okay. So you mean they want to keep something going?
Just keep the thing about men and women not getting along, like all of that stuff. It is in their best interest that we are always fighting about something, because as long as we are fighting with each other
amongst ourselves, right.
So I have a rule for myself. I don't argue with anybody on the internet. When I first got on the internet, I was sassy as, but now I'm just like, no, I don't even think you're a real person, so I'm not doing this with you. I'm not even doing it with you. And people are energy vampires. Like, people
absolutely
really some people get a kick out of draining your energy over something that they know that you're passionate about. And I believe from a spiritual perspective that if a person knows how to harness energy, that they can drain as many people as they want of their energy so that they can then do some wild stuff with it. So I'm just like, no, not doing that with y'all.
I feel like we extend too much energy to stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with us. Like, I'm so tired of hearing about Jada Pinkett.
They selling books.
That's what they trying to do.
They selling. I mean, I don't know if that's what they're trying to do, but they're selling books.
Well, all of this coincided with the,
book sales.
Just drum up some drama. The best way to get free marketing is to create some kind of drama, because people want to talk about it.
Yeah.
People love talking about stuff that they hate. They love talking about things that they don't like. They love being the voice of dissent. And so trigger marketing is what they call it, where if I say something provocative, now everybody on the internet is talking about what it is that happened. And there people who didn't know anything about my book now know about my book. And that's a horrible way to harness people's energy. But I watch people I watch it happen all the time. I'm like, I'm not participating in that. I'm gonna film me some TikToks and I'm gonna laugh, post a picture every once in a while, and then I'm gonna get off here. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
So The Baltimore Peace Challenge is still quarterly, correct?
So the
Well, I
Baltimore
noticed.
Peace Challenge has been replaced by the Baltimore Peace Promise.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because peace is inherently promised to all of us. Our Creator promised peace to us. It's a thing that we deserve. The movement. So before it was the Baltimore Ceasefire, Baltimore Peace Challenge, and now it is the Baltimore Peace Movement and the Baltimore Peace Promise.
Okay.
Everything else is still the same. So every February, May, August, and November. So November 3rd, 4th, and 5th, there is
where I
a
was
Peace
going.
Promise weekend.
Okay.
The Evanston Village kickoff rally is every Friday. It's so much fun.
Emerson and Allendale.
Emerson and Allendale is so much fun. 5:30 to 7. There are events that are happening all across Baltimore City. And we ask people, like, if people are like, well, how can I get involved? There's so many ways. And because life affirming is the thing that we focus on. And so if I'm beefing with a cousin, an uncle, a family member, and I've been thinking in my mind, like, I don't want this to be our relationship anymore, I can take advantage of the energy that's happening during the Baltimore Peace Promise weekend and call a truce with the person that I've been beefing with. Like, that's not even something that you have to talk about publicly if you don't want to. I can support my community. I can just do random acts of kindness in Baltimore City, like elevating the vibe in Baltimore that weekend is an amazing thing to happen in our community. Because I remember that Friday of the August 27th, like the air in Baltimore City just felt different.
And that's what I meant to say about that when I was downtown that weekend. I'm going to the Artist Exchange. It definitely did. It felt like the air was clear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It definitely was a different feel.
Yeah.
The city that weekend.
Real quick, Lamontre Tynes and Dante Johnson were the two men who we lost on the August 2017 ceasefire weekend. Lamontre's birthday was the Friday of the February 2018 ceasefire weekend. And that day started 11 and a half days where nobody got killed in the city. And so we like to say that Lamontre crossed over and was injecting his energy into, because it was the longest stretch of time that we had gone in the city since 2014 where nobody got killed. The fact that the first day of that was his birthday, like, that's not lost on me. And
that's so dope, yo. Those
things are the kinds of things that when I say to people, they be like, how can you do that work? I'm like, y'all don't see the stuff that I see. And like I say, it's hard to communicate. Like, I can post about it on social media. I can talk about it in interviews, but like, that's the thing. Those things ground me. And when I get tired, when we lose 6 people in one weekend, when 50 people get shot, and like, when that stuff happens, those are the things that I have to lean on that keep me going.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I've seen miracles happen in my city. And so
and my favorite moment is still the Sacred Circle when y'all had those kids out there. Amazing.
Babies standing outside with sage talking about, oh, we cleaning the air. Man.
They was out there with their big blunts. They was out there with their big blunts.
That were the ladies with the big blunts. I want one of those. I want to clean the air.
Not the big ones. Y'all gonna stop it.
It does look like a big blunt.
It does. It's them sage sticks, and we got the long ones too.
Yeah.
Like,
Y'all got the Snoop Dogg version.
Special.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And of course, you know, we also, I mean, we always talk about what you guys are doing as far as the Baltimore Peace Movement, but we can't take away what you guys are doing at the Mediation Center either.
Oh yeah.
I always drive past and beeps, so I hope you be hearing my beeps when I ride past.
So I
Like she can single out your beat.
Yeah.
like, and I don't know if it's I have a weird relationship with men. And so if I'm outside and somebody is beeping their horn at me, I never assume that it's somebody that I know. I'm just
Right.
like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
just keep pushing because
Gotcha.
I don't want to talk to nobody. And if I turn around, he'd be like, "How you doing today?" And I'm gonna be like, "No, thank you, bye." So I just keep moving.
Like tunnel vision, like
Yes, when I'm outside, if y'all see me
Yeah,
outside,
same.
I'm doing something. So I've been with my guy forever, and so I'm like,
Forever,
really?
ever.
Forever.
Aw.
Forever, ever.
So the Baltimore Community Mediation Center. Here's what's real wild. The Community Mediation Center has been around for almost 30 years. And most people in Baltimore City, if you ask them, have you heard of the ceasefire? They'd be like, I heard something about it, or they've actually heard about it. But if you ask them, do they know about the mediation center? People are like, I didn't even know that thing existed.
I didn't know
And
until you
so,
guys got there.
huh?
I didn't know until you guys got there, honestly. Never heard of it.
And they've been in that same space, 3333 Greenmount Avenue, since 1995. I love explaining to people that the magic that you see in this movement comes from the mediation center. So all of the community organizing, outside of the things that she learned from her mother and her father, because Erica's parents are very powerful people. So they, had her on purpose. And I love saying this, they intentionally got pregnant with her because they said that they were going to have a child that was going to change the world.
Aww.
They did that on purpose. And so that energy, coupled with the values of the community mediation movement, that's Erica in a nutshell. And so everything that she's learned about community organizing, not everything, but a lot of what she learned about community organizing and like really being rooted in peace. She got her wings at the mediation center. So when she asked me to come work there, I was like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So we do peace work in the morning. We do peace work in our spare time. And just love on our city in like the most amazing ways. And so we offer free mediation, conflict resolution for people if you live in Baltimore City, work in Baltimore City, or go to school in Baltimore City. Mediation sessions are 2 hours. You can have as many of those 2-hour sessions as you need. You can use mediation if you are in conflict with somebody, to avoid getting into conflict with somebody. If you need to have a hard conversation with somebody and you've been trying to do it and you just can't seem to like get into it and navigate the conversation, mediation is exceptional for that. If you want to make plans around something that's important to you, so like people think mediation conflict, but like the example that I love using is, so my cousins and I, most of them don't live here in Maryland. We've been trying to put together a family reunion for at least the last 4 years. And so we could, if we wanted to, use mediation to build that framework of mediation, to have a conversation, to actually plan out our family reunion. So it doesn't even necessarily have to be a conflict happening. If you're the type of person that's like, I'm gonna sit down and talk to this person and it's gonna go left and I know it's gonna go left and I don't want it to, mediation is perfect for that. Mediation is offered 7 days a week. Because of the pandemic, it's being offered on Zoom. But mediations can start as early as 9 a.m. They can start as late as 7 p.m. With the exception of our staff, all of our mediators are volunteers. So they go through a 45-hour training to learn skills to help people feel heard and understood. They learn amazing skills, inclusive listening, inclusive reflecting. They learn what is conflict, their relationship to conflict, hearing other people's relationships to conflict to give them perspective. And they become champions of our work. they get this 45-hour training for free. So I've been telling people that training is probably worth about $25,000, but we give them the training for free because in exchange for them going through this training, they mediate our caseload for us for free. And right now we have a Black Men and Boys initiative with a goal of getting Black men and boys folded into mediation work so that they can learn conflict management skills, so that they can help other Black men and boys navigate conflict in healthy ways, and so that they can become champions of mediation. You see somebody look like something wrong, be like, yo, call the people on Greymount. You ain't even gotta do all that, just call the people on Greymount. And we have a staff of 6. I'm the deputy director. Erica is the executive director. In a perfect world, we would be a staff of 30. So you have 6 people doing the work of 30 people. And it is the kind of work that when you get into it, it gets in your bones and it becomes part of your DNA. You cannot be in the work, like really be in the work, and the work not change you for the better. So I've been blessed to be invited into that space and to be able to do things to help people just sit with conflict differently. And even if all people do is come to mediation and cuss people out and leave, like that is a successful mediation for us.
It is.
Yeah.
Because it could go a different way.
Exactly. And mediation is confidential. So unless people talk about child sex abuse, elder abuse, or they have credible threats to do bodily harm. Mm-hmm. And credible means like you want to show up to the mediation table and hurt somebody. Everything else that people talk about is 100% confidential. And so when you think about a place like Baltimore, some of the conflicts that we have are around things that are by law considered illegal. But if y'all beefing about it, where else y'all gonna go and talk about? Like y'all can use mediation, and everything that gets said in mediation is held to a confidentiality law from Maryland. And so if we was hustling together and
I was just sitting here thinking,
you know what I'm saying?
Too. I actually saw the table. I was like, wait a minute now. This is the table now.
Like, because people need
you ran off with my A-ball and then it's like, but
like that, people need a place to talk about that kind of stuff so that it doesn't escalate.
Right.
Our mediators are non-judgmental, and so while people come to the table sometimes expecting mediators to take sides, they never do. Mm-hmm. Even when on the surface it's clear this person is dead wrong and that person is right, our mediators are trained to be non-judgmental and just make sure that everybody at the table feels heard and understood. Because when people feel heard and understood, they naturally de-escalate in their conflict. So non-judgmental, is free, it's confidential, and it is unfortunately one of the best kept secrets in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. And so every chance I get, I'm talking to people about mediation, because if we help to uplift the ceasefire in less than 7 years, 7 years from now, everybody will know about the mediation center. And Antoine will become a mediator so that he can.
I was going to say,
you know what? I think he can do it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
you did mention something to me when I was there about something coming up. I don't know if you want to put that out now.
Yeah, so we have an annual mediation training for our volunteers every year at the end of the year. We have a special Black Men and Boys mediation training coming up in April. And so that training is exclusive for Black men and boys. I think you can be as young as 8 years old. As young as 12. And there is no upper age limit. But the idea really is to train a group of Black men and boys with these skills, because the same way that I'm sitting here talking about it and people are listening and they're like, oh, I'm interested in that. We need Black men and boys doing the exact same thing. And shifting the culture. Mm-hmm. Violence is one of the available options when people are in conflict. And we want mediation to be one of the available options.
Mhm.
I talked a lot. I'm losing my voice
I
now.
was about to say, drink something, girl. Drink something. And so I know that this is centered in Baltimore City, but of course, violence and murders isn't just, in the
Like
city.
citywide.
Are there any availabilities for the county? Because I already know that I know about probably about 10, 15 guys that would be interested in what you're doing in April, but none of them are in the city. I think I might be the only one in the city. Of the
They
people.
they don't live in Baltimore. Do they work in Baltimore?
Possibly.
Do they
I
go to
know.
school in Baltimore?
No, the guy Michon that was on earlier. I know he doesn't work in a school, but he's in Baltimore. He works in Baltimore. He works up Park Heights area. So,
Okay. So like live, work, go to school in Baltimore City. So Community Mediation Maryland is the umbrella organization that provides technical support for that. We have 16 mediation centers across the state of Maryland. So there is a mediation center in Baltimore County. We're the Community Mediation Center in Baltimore City. There's one in Hagerstown. There's one in Somerset County. So they are it's mediation centers.
that's like another state. We're not even touching on that.
She said Somerset. You said nope, forget it.
Yeah. Hagerstown, no.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. But the culture of mediation has been around for almost 30 years. And Anne Arundel County was the first mediation center to be established, and Baltimore is the you know how we do. So Baltimore is like the
brush your shoulder
child for me in Maryland. And so if the Baltimore Center closes or doesn't get support, it's going to be bad for the state. And so keeping the doors open at Baltimore and making sure that Baltimore has what it needs is really important.
Nice. Tell us a little bit about this hip hop karaoke thing.
Ooh, baby. So I am I love hip hop.
She's a hip hop junkie. She's officially a hip hop junkie.
I love hip hop so much. And back in the day when I used to go to karaoke with my friends, they would be like, "Oh, get on the mic and sing something," and I'm like, "Well, I can't sing." And they go, "Well, it's karaoke," and I'm like, "Right, but I don't feel comfortable singing this badly on the mic. I understand that that's the whole point of karaoke, and no, I'm a Leo, and we don't do stuff like that on purpose."
Yeah, and some people be doing karaoke like they auditioning for, record deals. I'll be like, y'all the ones that need to sit down. This ain't what karaoke is for.
Right. And so
that'll be me, the overachiever. Like, quiet.
Right. And I'm not going on after her. Absolutely not. And so my friend Chris and we used to hang out, and I would do Rob Bass, It Takes Two.
Oh, okay.
Because that's like an easy, I know all the words and everything. And so I'm like, whenever I go to do karaoke, I'm only doing hip hop. And this was back in 2009. Okay. And so maybe about 4 years or so ago, I had an idea. I'm like, all right, there has to be a subset of people who would be willing to do hip hop, do karaoke, but it's hip hop.
Hip hop, okay.
And so I got with some people, and we made it happen at the Motor House, and then the pandemic hit, and I was like, And now we are at La Familia. Shout out to Adrian Waters and his beautiful Black-owned establishment. And so every third Thursday, we do hip hop karaoke. Easy Jackson is my co-host. Harvey Dent is our DJ. And we reduced the tickets to $10. The tickets used to be $20. We was like, all right, we want because times is hard and we want people to come out. So we reduced the tickets to $10.
Put that cup of Starbucks down and pay the
Listen, I want you to have your Starbucks and come to hip hop karaoke. You go. So the next one is this coming Thursday. And the one in November got moved to November 30th because there was a scheduling conflict with the venue. But every third Thursday, doors open at 7, karaoke starts at 8. Watching people, here's what's real wild. Watching people do hip hop songs that I've never heard of. Like, shout out to Io, because Io would come and she would, I'd be like, yo, I don't remember that song. And it'd be like songs from like the early 80s. And you literally can do any hip hop song that you want. So, you know, most of the time when you do karaoke, like you have to choose from what they have. Mm-hmm. And the way we have it set up, you tell us what song you want to do. And we put the lyrics on the screen. You got your music, and then you go for yours. And so it's a good time.
So good time. I am usually not free on third Thursdays, but because of the way that the first of the month dropped this month, I am actually free on Thursday, and I am going to attend. First and foremost, I will be there.
So you get hold on, you get two. Okay. I'm adding you to the guest list. You and a guest on my list. So I'm gonna add your name to the list as soon as we get off here. So let
me ask you a question: is there alcohol involved?
Yes.
Okay. So
we have an amazing bar with hip hop inspired drinks. There's a drink so I have a drink named after me. Easy has a drink named after him. Harvey has a drink named after him. And so, yeah.
So I might, after a few, be brave enough to get up there and do what we do. If you do the the Beanie Siegel part.
Oh.
Jay-Z part. Which part you want to do?
Wait a minute, which one is this? Even though what we do is wrong?
What we do is wrong. Okay.
You can do that?
40 when the sun. You can do that?
No, not me.
Oh, I
was gonna do that.
I might get easy to do that with you. I might get easy to do it with you. Yeah, I might get easy to do it. Like,
I even have this way that I want to transition from Freeway to Jay-Z.
Oh.
I even have this way that I want to transition from Freeway to Jay-Z.
Bring it, please. See, I'm more of a Lil' Kim, No Time. I did Foxy Brown, Get You Home. Like that's my vibe. I did do Ape Shit by Beyonce and Jay-Z. Ooh. And baby, when I tell you, the mic was hot when I got off, it was hot. I was excited. And I
can see you and somebody doing Ladies First. We were talking about that song earlier. I could see you doing Moni Love.
Okay. I got practice a little bit.
Yeah, I can see. Look at you. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe if my man Blizzard, who's on, shout out to my guy Blizz.
God,
rest in peace, the kid, man. Every time I think about that.
Yeah.
J. Sully. God, man, we done lost some good ones. But anyway, yeah. I don't know. I might get some Liquid Courage up in there and just we still hustle till the sun come up. Crack a 40 when the sun goes down. It's cold when it y'all niggas better bundle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might do that. Yeah, that. What's up, my guy? Yeah, that black.
And if you need more than 2 tickets, let me know.
Well, I mean, let me see. I got. I'm just playing. 2 is
no,
fine.
I'm serious. If whatever you need, whatever you need, we are doing. The event runs from September to June. And in general, we take off July and August because people vacationing and they doing. But we had the kickoff in September, and like really, like we really want Thursday to like just bring the vibe back.
Yeah.
So you
And
know, and if anybody is if y'all listening, I still have some room on my guest list for people who want to come. So, you know, hit me up on Facebook and let me know. And
They gotta mention access granted. They gotta give you like a what they call like a promo code, access granted. Or something.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give it away. Y'all gotta. I mean, thank y'all for tuning in, but
yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time Thursday, and I'm so excited.
Lisa, I don't know what you're doing on Thursday, but if you're free and you got some time, you can come out, Lisa. Me and you can do. You can't play with my yo-yo.
Ooh.
I'm only saying that because she would have to do all of the words. That's
Right.
my part is easy in that song.
Yeah. What's the is Ice Cube? Is it Ice Cube and Shauna? The song you
Don't
can do
stop,
it.
get it.
You can do it. Put your
Don't
back.
stop, get it. Yeah.
Oh, that okay.
Yeah.
Ellen, let me see you
Yeah.
put your let me. Ellen, don't be up there starting no stuff now.
Listen, I start all the every single little bit of it. I got all the good trouble for everybody. And if somebody need a hype man, if you need a backup dancer, like I got you. I'm all. When I say I'm all in, I'm all in because I want people to have a really good time. Yeah.
So this is every third Thursday.
Every third Thursday, with the exception being November. November will be Thursday, November 30th.
Okay. Dang, I might be able to make 2 of them now.
And bring your, I don't know if you have flyers or cards or whatever, but make sure you bring your stuff with you.
I had a dot card where people could just scan it and get all my information, but I lost it somewhere. So I might print out.
Blink, BLINQ. Let me make sure I'm spelling that right. BLINQ.
You are.
That's a free joint. And so it takes I feel like it takes like 3 minutes to sign up. So, but I want you to have stuff to actually give to people so that people can leave with something in their hand.
Well, I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that y'all had a bartender situation, I could bring some exclusive Long Island iced teas and rum punches in there. $12, and everybody could leave with something in their hands. But
who is calling me?
I don't know.
Telemarketers stay playing on my phone, y'all.
Yeah, and I'm getting them nationwide now.
Right.
Getting them nationwide now.
Yeah.
I'm so tempted to change my phone number, but I've had this phone number for so long.
That's what I feel like that's what they want us to do. Like I've had this phone number since 2009. I think since 2007 maybe. Y'all not gonna run me off my phone.
So Miss G, as always, God damn man, I love you so much, man.
I love you, Dad. I love you.
Always have.
And Lisa, it is so good to meet you.
You too. When y'all be on the Emerson Avenue one, since I'm a West Sider for now, I bump my horn every time I see y'all. So
thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We love all the energy.
And see, even something that simple, you know what I mean?
People think you have to do this grand thing, and you don't. Support people.
You're driving.
It's so easy to support people.
You're driving down Emerson Avenue. You're gonna be stuck in traffic anyway.
You're gonna be stuck
that time
anyway.
of day.
Lord have mercy.
2-3 little honks. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's actually probably too late for me to do for November. But I think when you guys come back next year, I'm actually going to do an Access Granted event for the weekend.
February.
Yeah.
February, May is Mother's Day weekend. So February, August, and November are always the first full Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of the month. In May, the Peace Movement weekend is Mother's Day weekend. And so, you know, you can do something every quarter if you want. Like, we're not gonna stop you.
I might see if Team Dallas want to pull back up to Baltimore around that
that
time.
would be nice.
Hey.
Yeah,
Oh, I love it so much.
And redo redo 2 toothbrushes.
Here we go. Here we go. You must have went straight out and got some. Look at her. Look at yeah, definitely look sideways because.
Okay. So with that look, I'm gonna send you a link after we get off air.
Okay.
And just shout out to my man Tad Nips. He's a spoken word. Tad Nips. TADNIPS. Spoken word artist out of Dallas.
No disrespect to him, and that sounds like
You
a
already
porn
know.
name. It sounds like a porn name.
Whoa.
It sounds like a porn name.
Oh.
Tad Nips. Like,
I'm just saying.
well, he almost got somebody pregnant that night. Not him literally, but his poetry almost got somebody pregnant.
That's how it happens, right?
Yeah.
I was okay. I was about to do something so inappropriate.
It's Access Granted. Do what you want to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For real.
That's why I love me some Ellen.
Don't let me lose. Don't let me lose. It's
Oh, man, Red Diggy from the West Coast. What's going on, bro? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna send you this link when we get off air, man. But Ellen, always a pleasure. Always.
I love y'all so much. Thank you.
Fairfield Projects for life, man.
FNF.
Fairfield Projects for life. Lisa, because I don't think Lisa was because me and you did that show solo.
Yeah.
So I reconnected with Ellen back in 1995 when I started working down at the state office building, and we knew immediately that we knew each other from somewhere. Couldn't figure out where the heck it was.
Right.
I've seen each other 3.69 million times since then, and still could not figure it out. And then on the last time that she was on the show, I said, Ellen, I've never really asked you about your background. Tell me about something. And she told me she grew up in Fairfield Projects, and I was like, bam. That's where we knew each other.
Small
Wild.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay.
Crazy. Shout out to, man, look, I had some times out there.
You and me both.
I had some times out there.
Okay.
Good and bad. Good and bad. But that bus ride, Lord have mercy. I wouldn't wish
and I
that.
went to Roland Park. So I was up at 6 o'clock in the morning going to middle school. 64 to the 61.
Where the heck did you catch the 61 at?
Downtown. Right. What street is that?
So you were at school by 10, because that's a long ass
not 10.
That's a long ride, yo.
She felt all the first period, second period classes.
It was a ride.
She ain't never report the homeroom.
Nothing. No home. No.
She ain't get free breakfast. She was all that. Ellen, where you at? Still downtown?
Oh my God.
61.
Ooh, Lord. By the 7-Eleven? You had to get on the 61?
No, downtown on Baltimore. So what street is that? Calvert Street?
Yeah. It's
and Calvert.
One of those streets traveling north.
Yeah.
Probably Calvert. I don't know. 51. Shout out to you. You made it over.
Yeah, definite. And I think my first, probably like the first part of my Walbrook 10th grade year. I was going from there. So it was, the 64 to I probably got off and hopped on a subway and went to Penn North.
Right.
And
Right.
The
Right.
13 up or
Yeah,
91?
catch the 13.
The 13 or the 19, because I could get off the 19
yeah.
and just walk. I could get off the
Wow.
19 on Garrison Boulevard and just walk over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, then the 15, if you got off.
Or the 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had options, but either
Yeah.
way, it was a. Well, I was so glad when my mom moved back over west.
Baby, that's a ride and a half.
That's crazy. How we follow you, Miss G? How we keep in touch?
I don't know because
Yeah.
I don't really be on social media like that. Like
Catch her on TikTok. She's a rising TikTok star.
Thundercat.
Okay.
Yeah, Thundercat.
Thundercat.
Yeah, that's the name. I bust out laughing the first time she said that. Yo,
So-
Thundercat.
Shatora?
So listen,
Okay.
old school Thundercat. Thundercat. Thundercat.
I loved the Thundercat. Okay. Yes.
My guy was telling me a joke before I joined TikTok. He said this older woman was messing around with this young guy, and people were calling her a cougar.
Oh.
And she was like, "Baby, I'm not a cougar. I'm a Thundercat." And I was like,
Okay. Well, come on then.
"Okay, that's it right there." And so when I joined TikTok, my name is Thundercat,
Right,
and
that's
it's
it.
Katt on there. I be having a good time on TikTok. So.
Otherwise, just go to the BaltimorePeaceMovement.com.
BaltimorePeaceMovement.com, communitymediation.org.
Absolutely.
BaltimorePeaceMovement.com. Yeah, BaltimorePeaceMovement.com, communitymediation.org. Not meditation.
Right. Oh,
Not meditation. Mediation.
Mediation. Yes, please, y'all.
Mhm.
Mediation.
it's very easy to get them confused.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Thank y'all for having
My
me.
man said that's better than a puma. He said,
Ain't it though? Ain't it? This was better than a Thundercat. Mhm.
Okay. Yes, I love me a Thundercat. Listen.
oh man, too funny. Man, thanks to everybody that tuned in. Lisa, you didn't get to see the shirt earlier, but this is a real dope. I had to show it to you another time.
Oh, okay. Well, I
And
got my Access Grandin on
yeah,
tonight.
I see you repping with
You
the
see me?
Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but because you weren't here at the beginning, we didn't get to do our little normal
Little shirt
dialogue.
check.
And yeah, we didn't do the shirt check and we didn't do our normal dialogue. So before we get off of here, we'll tell y'all about Black people on cruises.
Oh, please tell me.
Y'all know I went on a cruise last week. 3 days to the Bahamas. Cruise ship. You get off the elevator, odd side, even side.
Right.
If your number to your cabin is even, you go to the even side.
True.
When you get to the hallway, it splits like this. Bam.
Right.
My room was right there at the split. Bam.
Oh, not at the split. Okay.
So all of the traffic that was coming to the even side had to go past Antoine Grant's door. Okay. So if you've ever been on a cruise ship, you know how long the hallway is from the elevator down to the end of the ship. It's a lot of cabins.
Yes.
On both sides. It's
Yep.
a lot. I saw 2 white families on that hallway the entire time I was there. Everybody else looked like me.
Okay.
There was one family, because they always do these family reunions with the matching T-shirts and everything when they get on the cruises. The Gavin cousins.
Don't you
It had to
remember?
be at least 40 of them. 30 of them was down that last hall, was down my hallway. So I already knew from day one it was going to be off the chain.
Oh my gosh.
But I also had, y'all remember the drunk lady from Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking juice in the hood?
Yeah.
LaWanda Page, her. I had a LaWanda Page and her daughter in the room next to me. And then I had a set of girlfriends on the other side of them.
Okay.
First day, had a ball, whatever. Morning comes. I don't know what time it is because they don't put clocks in the room. And my cell phone was on the other side of the room by where the TV is. So, again, I'm right there when you get off the elevator. All I hear is, So somebody's out there arguing. It's the two girlfriends.
Okay.
All I heard was, that's why you ain't been spending no time with me all day, because you've been upstairs with that effing Ebony all this time. Da 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 da. So this goes on between them arguing, the people that they were with trying to break them up, and the people that were coming out of their rooms telling y'all shut the hell up because we're trying to sleep. It was a lot. And then I heard this punch. And then after I heard the punch, I just heard a bunch of rumbling. Da, da, da. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. Somebody came out the room and said, why are y'all out here at 4:30 in the morning fighting? I'm like, 4:30 in the morning. Yeah. So they break the fight up eventually. And they finally get it calmed down. Yeah, Soul Cruise. And then they get to fighting again. No, I'm sorry, they get to arguing again, because now after this fight, it's time for them to go in the room. Neither one of them have the key. Why don't you have the key? I don't know. Why don't you have the key? Da, 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 da,
Oh my gosh, they fighting and locked themselves out the room.
I don't think. Well, they were already locked out. They never even made it into the room.
Okay.
That's why they were in the hallway fighting.
Wow.
So somebody finally says, just shut up and go to guest services and get another key. So one of them goes to guest services. She comes back about 15 minutes later. She has a key, but then they start arguing again because, I went to get the key. I'm not letting you in the room because you still was da 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 da. So that was another argument that went on for like another 15 minutes. So I don't think I got back up until I don't think I went back to sleep until about 6 something. And then by that time it was, time to get up and enjoy the day. So we make it to the island. We go on the island. We come back to the ship. 7 o'clock, karaoke pops off. I don't know what the white man said to the black woman, but he said something wrong. And the black woman had her husband, her son, and a bunch of other people with her. They get up and they sold a lot of wolf tickets like they wanted to fight. It was a whole lot of this going on. So that's part of the trip. The white man had a drink in his hand. He took 2 steps back, and there was a tall standing table. He sat the drink down on the table and was like, he hit one of us. Look, he said, I got no time for all this talking. What we gonna do? You ain't got time for all of this.
Now he called that bluff.
What we doing? And the fight never happened because, again, there was a lot of wolf tickets being sold. They finally got the white guy to leave. They pulled the black guy in a different area. But at this point, for me, the cruise is over. I'm mentally checked out at this point. I'm just like, yo, if y'all can land a helicopter on the top deck, I'll go ahead and take the helicopter back to Miami. And I can just go ahead and
helicopter.
And say, get me out of here.
And now somebody gave me a great analogy. They were like, Carnival and Royal Caribbean is like the frontier and Spirit of cruise
of the air.
And I was like, yo, that's
Not Spirit.
Oof.
Shout out to Spirit. I took Spirit back. I took Spirit back from Miami. Yeah. But yeah, my that was the worst cruise experience that I've ever had.
Yeah.
And
you need a vacation from the vacation.
From the vacation. Exactly. It's a vacation. It's bad when you come back to Baltimore to go on vacation.
Like, whew, I'm glad to be home.
And then I get back to Baltimore and there's a little something popping off 4 or 5 houses up the street. So that whole, I'm gonna just take another vacation and just stay in the house from this point on. But anyway,
I mean,
they need to meet.
Vacation is not a bad idea.
Vacations are freaking amazing.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Are amazing.
Yeah.
In fact, my wife went out of town.
Get a fridge full of food. Get you something to watch. Relax. Turn your phone off. There you go.
Drink you some Access Granite Signature Long Island.
Yeah.
Some Signature Rum Punch. $12 a pouch, 4 for $40. Hit me up. Shameless self-promotion. But we're gonna get out of here, man. Oh, and speaking of which, my business partner and the curator of that liquor is our guest next week. My girl Tipsy Fiend. Yeah, we're gonna be up here. We're gonna have a ball next week. So shout out to her. But again, man, thanks to everybody. Ellen.
Yes, definitely.
Ellen. Love you, sis. You know, always love. If you ever need me for anything, I'm just a phone call, an inbox,
Yes, you
or
are.
something away. Appreciate
you
you
so
just for
much.
being you. I can't, and that's thank you for being you.
Yeah.
Like, he's really one of the most genuine people and dopest people at the same time. You remember when y'all came to Baltimore Flavor Radio and put it on my boy, my man Damien. When Baltimore
Y'all
girls,
did it, Damien.
Baltimore girls.
Oh no, that was the Divas dish. Poor Damien.
Oh,
Poor Damien. Oh my God. Yeah.
Dame has never been the same since. I say that all the time, but Ellen,
I remember that. It's pictures floating around the internet somewhere.
It is, and video, and video.
Yeah. He couldn't get himself together.
He was different, and I tried to warn him. I tried to warn him because that was you, Lakia. That was you, Lakia, Anissa,
Lorraine, Ray, aka Brooklyn, and Erica.
Brooklyn. That was my girl. Yeah.
What a time to be alive. All right, y'all. I'm gonna see
you. I know you gotta go. Appreciate you as always. I will see you on Thursday.
Yes, come through.
Hustle till the sun come up. Crack a 40 when the sun go down.
Look at y'all.
And my wife loves that song. She might come up there and do it with me. You never know. She don't know none of the words, so
it's okay. It's all right.
All right, Miss G. Peace out. Love you, sis. Have a good one.
Bye bye.
Oh,
it's getting hot in here.
It get hot?
Yeah, you can tell when we turn the heat on in the house at night, it starts to, especially down here in the basement.
Because it starts down there. I haven't put mine on yet. Should I have? I know it's been a little chilly. We be walking around. I'm just like, it's not consistently chilly, you know?
It ain't got to be consistently chilly, but when it's chilly for that hour.
Okay.
But appreciate you. Glad you made it in.
Yeah, so she's in the Poly Western band, and Poly Western, their annual game is next Friday. So last minute she says, "Oh, it's till 6:30." So normally it's like a 5:30 pickup, but it's all good in the hood, and so we know going forward, and we just keep it rocking and rolling.
Absolutely. Make sure that you continue to like, share, and subscribe to the Access Granted the Pod Stream YouTube channel.
Yes.
Follow us on access_granted_AG on Instagram.
Yeah.
Follow Lisa Monet at
Lisa Monet the Movement on IG and Facebook.
Yes.
For all other events to follow.
Yes. And stay tuned because I really might put together something for the Baltimore Ceasefire movement in 2024. I really might do something.
That's awesome.
Might see if my man Red Diggy can fly in from Cali and DJ for me. I'll put him on Spirit. 5 hours on Spirit Airline.
Oh my!
He ready to beat me up when he gets here. But nah, man, everybody, you guys enjoy your week. Also, if you are looking and you are a singer, a rapper, or a poet, I am looking for artists to feature on the Access Granted acapellas and acoustic segment. He said, hell no. I am looking for artists to feature on the acapellas and acoustic segment. So if you're interested, man, just go to my Facebook page, inbox me, and just let me know, and we can make that happen, because I did one like 3 weeks ago, and I haven't done one since. And I want to get back to doing it consistently because I think that it's a real dope segment. So everybody make sure to tell somebody if you know a great singer, if you know a great hip hop artist or a great spoken word artist to connect them with your boy. Other than that, we will see you guys next week. Tipsy Fiend, be ready because we're going to get all up in your business.
Oh, in your business.
All up in your business. Access
you
granted
guys.
the car screen. We are out. Out.